Okay, so this is going to be a different video. See, the Z Fold 7 launched about 2 months back and a lot of you guys asked for doing a long-term review. But I'm sure you've already seen many review videos of it on YouTube, so we decided to do things slightly differently. And see, I'm already an Android user, so me switching from an Android phone to another Android is good. And you guys really loved that peak Android versus peak iPhone comparison. So that's just good. You know what's great? A long-term iPhone user switches to the Z Fold 7 and enter Super Saiyan. He has a MacBook and an iPad and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Do you carry all of these everywhere?
Yes, I have to show off the Apple products.
So we asked if he was willing to switch to Z Fold 7, and we all know Apple is stuck not innovating. So does an iPhone user switch to the Android because it is simply more innovative or revolutionary? Let's go! Now, before we talk about things that could improve, let's talk about the good things. So is this your first time using a Samsung Z Fold 7?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
I did use the Fold 5 and 6 when I was writing for YouTube long form, but that was only for testing purpose. But this time, I went all in. My primary and my secondary SIM was in the phone. And I was super excited from the start.
So what was the one thing that you were most worried about before switching?
It was WhatsApp data. The last time I transferred from an Android to iPhone, it was a big mess. But this time, I'm happy to say transferring WhatsApp chats has become very streamlined now. Backup from one phone, install WhatsApp on the other, restore it, and that's it.
So what about the rest of the app data or your messages?
Well, that was simple. Samsung has an app called Smart Switch. You get that on the iPhone. You can easily transfer the data. It transfers your photos, your calendar, and everything.
Surprisingly, iPhone still doesn't have an app that could let you move data from iPhone to Android.
They don't want people leaving their walled garden.
So yes, what was the first thing that you noticed when using the phone?
In-hand feel, because the first time I held the phone, I was like, wow. I mean, I knew it would be different from the iPhone, but I didn't expect it to be this much. And that's a good thing.
I mean, yes, people don't understand, but once you hold the Z Fold 7, I mean, folded, it is more comfortable and better in hand than the Pro Max.
In fact, I would say when folded, this phone looks just like a regular phone, which is a good thing if you're living in Delhi. I've been robbed twice.
Were you rough handling the phone?
Well, it is a premium phone, and yes, it's got Gorilla Glass ceramic too and all, but it's still a premium phone, so I was being pretty careful using it. Yes, I did toss it on the sofa once or twice, but that's about it. However, one thing that I missed was the IP rating. See, the iPhone was IP68, so no issue with dust and water. This, on the other hand, is IP48, which is good for water resistance, but not so much for dust. More on this in just a moment.
Okay, so other than the design, what is the thing that you liked the most?
Other than design, I would say watching movies on this is on another level. See, I love watching action movies, science fiction movies, and while iPhone is decent, it's still a small screen. Like, often I had to switch to my iPad, but with the Fold 7, not anymore. Like, the inner display is pretty big, it's 8-inch in size. I watched the entire season of Dexter Resurrection on this and no complaints. I mean, it feels just as good as watching it on a tablet.
So okay, I'll add one more. Now, the outer display of the Fold 7 is 21:9 aspect ratio.
Correct.
So most of the movies or the series naturally adapt to that 21:9 aspect ratio, and
Yeah. There is none of those black borders happening on the outer screen. And yes, another best thing about this is, see, while I'm having lunch, I would usually prop my phone up like this, and it's like a mini reverse laptop. I mean, it's very convenient.
But speaking of the display, ever since the Fold has come, people complain about the crease. Did it bother you?
Honestly, no, it didn't bother me. At first I thought it would, it didn't. The reason being, I use my phone mostly using dark mode, and in dark mode, you barely notice the crease. Now, yes, it does show up when you watch content while the phone is on the sofa or the bed, but I rarely do that. I'm usually watching movies like this or like this, and in this form factor, the crease is barely noticeable.
Okay, what about the software? How did you get used to it using an Android phone on a big screen?
See, I have used Samsung phones in the past, and if you follow Insta, you would know that.
By the way, we just hit 1 million on Instagram, so give us a follow if you're on Instagram.
Okay, so I was curious how One UI 8 adapts to this larger screen, and I must say it handles it pretty well. Let me explain. When I'm using the phone closed, it operates just like any regular phone. The home screen, you have the apps, open the apps, and it opens normally like in any other phone. Take Twitter for instance. It works fine when it works fine when folded, and when I unfold it, it seamlessly opens. Plus, there is this new dock at the bottom. I can switch between them. I mean, it feels more like a tablet now.
Okay, what about bugs? Did you face any unusual bugs while using the phone for a long time? Because people say Android is buggy.
I won't call it bugs, but not all apps are optimized for the larger display. See Cred, for example, like if I open it on the larger screen, it opens normally. But when I fold it and open Cred, it gives me this resize error. So I have to restart Cred and now it opens. Now again, if I open Cred on the larger display, it opens like this. So I have to restart Cred all over again. And even Instagram, see, it doesn't fit the content very well. Plus there was this weird bug I encountered few times where this portion of the screen was not working. So I had to restart the entire phone. Not that big of a deal, but audiences should know.
So what about AI? Did you use AI or Galaxy AI on this?
Oh yes, on iPhone AI is barely there, but here there were 4 AI features which I constantly used. First is the text call. See, if a spammer calls, I can send the call directly to an AI assistant. The assistant takes the call and the spammer just disconnects. But at least I don't have the guilt of saying no to a human being. Second, I was using Circle to search like crazy. So for Instagram, I have to see a lot of gadget videos. If I like a gadget, I can just pause the video, do this, and it does an image search. Very convenient for me. And third was AI on photo editing. So last year I went to Agra with a friend of mine, and in almost every photo there are people in the background. But with generative fill, this phone can erase people accurately. This is before and this is the after.
Exactly. Even I have found a change in my user habit. Now when I take a photo in any public place or public monument, I don't bother about so many people around because I know you can remove them later on.
And yes, Gemini. Now you can take photos or videos and ask it in proper context. In fact, I use it to summarize YouTube videos now.
Yes, one really cool use of Gemini is now due to Nano Banana, you could upload your photos in Gemini and literally ask to make it a 3D figurine of yourself. In fact, I've even asked Gemini to edit my thumbnails a little bit and it still maintains facial consistency, which is the new feature in Nano Banana. Gemini is miles better than Siri. And talking about the camera, did you take a lot of photos with this?
I am not much of a photo person, but I did take a few pictures with this. Like we had our Ganesh Puja event in the office and most of the photos there I took from this phone. And I would say I'm really impressed. See, in the past, Samsung was known for oversaturating their photos. Not this one.
I think since S25 Ultra, they have moved to a much natural tone.
Yes, it looked pretty natural. Like if you see these photos, they look as good as you see on with the eyes. And since this is a folding phone, the best use is clicking those group selfies like this.
Or you can even prop it up on the table.
I was actually using it like that while shooting for a reel. I was kept it on the table and shot a reel. I mean, it's as good as having a cameraman.
But you would have missed that 5x telephoto on this, right? This has a 3x telephoto, and how good is it?
The 3x telephoto is okay. I would say it does get grainy when you are in low light. But then again, the iPhone also has a pretty average telephoto camera, I would say, in low light. So I didn't miss it that much.
It's even 5x. So the thing with 5x is you would have to be like really far away from the subject to take a photo. And even in the 17 Pro Max, they have moved to 4x. Whereas on the 16 Pro Max, it's like 1, 2, and then directly 5.
Yeah, they skipped numbers there, I guess.
Okay, so what about performance?
Performance on this is a bit tricky, I would say. See, the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the Fold 7, they both have flagship level performance. Like they can play games, edit apps, everything pretty smoothly. There's like no complaints there. However, because of this fold form factor, there were times where I could actually take advantage of the performance. Like I'm an Instagram creator, so there were times where I had an Instagram reel open on one side and the dock on the other. Like I'm researching reels as well as jotting down points. And you know what's the best case of this? Like I don't have a car yet, so I have to use Rapido, Ola, Uber to commute to work. And the Indian in me always wants to check which app is giving the max discount. On the iPhone, to do that, I would have to constantly keep switching the apps. But on the Fold 7, I can literally open all the apps like this and check prices at the same time.
So what about gaming? I know you're a console player and we were also talking about Game Hub the other day. So did you play any games on this?
Oh yes, that was a wonderful experience. See, I wanted to remote play from my PS5 on this. All I had to do was download the app, connect my controller to this, and because of this bigger display, the gaming experience on this is very immersive. I mean, it felt as if I was playing on a handheld console. Yes, I can technically do that even on an iPhone, but the screen is so small, you really won't feel that immersive.
Okay, so now things that could improve. Anything you wish was better on the Z Fold 7?
There are a few things. First, I would say is this hinge. Sometimes it feels a bit too tight to unfold. If only there was a button here which would, spring open the display, that would be something.
Or rather, they could just give a small wedge over here.
Yeah, like
where
they
you
do in
put-
laptops.
Yeah.
But the advantage of this tight hinge is that it can perfectly stay open at any angle. Also, since this is only IP48, the dust from your pockets actually enter the hinge. Also, the battery life on this is pretty average. Like if I full charge in the morning, I have to charge again by 8 or 9. This is understandable but not really acceptable at this price. It's only got 4400 mAh battery and a huge display. What's worse, it supports a maximum of 25 watts of charging. So it takes 1.5 hours to charge this. But kudos to the optimization, because even at 4400 mAh battery, it still performs like a 5000 mAh one. Also, it wobbles quite a lot. Like there were few times when I wanted to type WhatsApp messages like this, but I can't since the screen wobbles. Having said that, if you slap in a case or get that kickstand case, the wobble part won't happen. I use the phone without a case. And that's a big thing because this is a bigger screen. I want to type messages like this. And finally, and this is a bit of a nitpick, I would prefer if the speakers were placed better. See, when watching movies, I hold the phone like this, it makes the video slightly bigger. However, in this position, both my hands are covering the speakers. Also, this punch hole in the video looks a bit jarring.
Okay, final question. Which phone would you choose? Will you switch, and would you recommend others to switch?
Hell yeah, I would switch if TechWiser pays for it. And as for the second part, see, here's the thing. Previously, the iPhone was a status symbol amongst the ultra rich. The iPhone Pro Max especially. But now I have seen quite a lot of people use the Z Fold, and the Z Fold 7 is a good phone. Like you really have to hold the phone to experience how good it is.
On that note, this is Pratik
This is Shayon.
signing off. See you in the next video.
Pew, 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 pew.